Anyway, here with reaction, Fox News legal analyst Gregg Jarrett, Harvard law professor Alan Dershowitz is with us. The president just spoke, Greg, about corruption, weaponization. It became the Department of Injustice. Think about this for a second, because both of you and a few others, not many, were on this show regularly talking about the Russia hoax, talking about FISA abuse, talking about a dual system of justice, talking about, you know, this novel legal theory that they used in New York, talking about all the injustice. And there he is in the building where all the plotting and planning and scheming took place. I kind of took that in, and, you know, things worked out, but it was perilously close to the line where I think it was a line of no return. Greg.
You know, what the president did today was important because it pierced this myth that the Justice Department operates independently. That's a fiction. It is found nowhere in the Constitution. Indeed, the opposite is true. Article 2, the executive branch designed to be unitary. The president is the sole head of all agencies and departments, Sean, including the Department of Justice. He hires, fires, directs what they do. They operate within the presidential sphere. That's in the opinion clause, the appointments clause. It makes all of them subordinate, answerable to the president. Yet, we have seen this false paradigm of, oh, the DOJ is independent, take hold. It is not. So today, Donald Trump reasserted his authority, his leadership. No more weaponization of the law for political gain or vendettas, and refocus on crime and safety, law and order. I think Americans are cheering that. It's about time.
When you look at where he was, this is the very building, Professor, as I said, where they were plotting and planning and scheming his destruction. They wanted to destroy this man, get Trump, I think somebody wrote a famous book called that. And when you think about it, he goes to that building. Would it be weaponization to look into the people that worked in that building and what they were up to, and whether or not they were following Justice Department protocol, whether or not they violated the law, whether or not show me the man and I'll find you the crime? I mean, is that what went on there? Would they be within their rights to look deeply and see how corrupted that agency became under Joe Biden and Merrick Garland?
Well, not only they looking into it, but Congress as well. The motto of the Justice Department is equal justice. And for the last 4 years, we have not seen equal justice. We've seen the application of a double standard. We're seeing the application of the double standard all over the country today. Take, for example, there were big demonstrations at Harvard and other universities on behalf of the free speech rights of this anti-Semitic, pro-Hamas thug. Very few of the professors who were chanting and cheering for free speech would do it if the person who was being deported was a conservative, a member of the Ku Klux Klan, a racist, a right-winger, somebody who didn't fit their political narrative and political ideology. The key to justice is a single standard. And if President Trump can bring about a single standard of justice, investigate wrongdoers, look at people who use the double standard, but make sure you do it without reference to political parties. You know, the Bible says that judges and prosecutors must never look at faces. Lo takir panim is the word in the Bible. Do not recognize faces. It has to be equal justice. And I think the speech today in the Justice Department was the beginning of the end of the double standard that I've been writing about, been complaining about, and will continue to complain about if it's not carried out by the Republicans. And, you know, I made a speech in Mar-a-Lago. President Trump was there. And I looked at him and I said, please don't do what they did to you. Don't apply a double standard. And he shook his head in agreement, and that really made me happy.
Well, would they be within their, would it be the right thing to do, both Congress and the Justice Department, Greg, to look into the people and to see if they abuse power for political purposes to take down Donald Trump?
Oh, it absolutely would. And we're just now inevitably learning about the ugly, illicit schemes that were used to target Donald Trump by the Department of Justice and the FBI. Part of the things we've learned over the last several days is that Biden's aides in the White House were handing over Trump and Mike Pence's cell phones. We already know that Biden leaked purposely to the media his demand that Merrick Garland prosecute his political opponent, Donald Trump. So, those people who broke the law, who violated standards, who were weaponizing their power and position for political purposes and vendetta should not only be held accountable publicly, but in a court of law if they broke laws.
Yeah. All right,
Absolutely.
Professor. No more getting anybody. I think we all agree on that. Professor, you get the last word.
Agree. Well, look, I think we're on the right track. I think Pam Bondi has extraordinary experience. She's tough. She has the right priorities. We can't have presidents of universities saying it broke my heart to see them invade the room of a student. Did it break her heart when they went into Mar-a-Lago, when they went into other places? No. You can't be heartbroken just when one side is attacked but not the other. And so we have a deeper problem than the Justice Department. Our problem is deep within the academy. We have to root out the double standard that is applicable today in the academy, in the justice system, literally all over the country. And I saw today's speech as a good beginning.
And you know what? Defund any institution that is allowing this type of prejudice, hatred, discrimination on their college campuses. That'll be effective.
Don't go after medical. But don't go after medical research. Go after the villains, the bad guys, not medical research.
Okay, I'm talking about the funding until they have endowments that will last for
No, I'm saying, but you have
years.
to make sure that the funding is targeted. This funding is targeted, and so it doesn't impact medical research and good things that are happening. That's important too, and I think it will happen.